Welcome back, guys. Episode 8, we're on to the paint. So I'm stoked to be using all Limeline products on this one. Been using them a lot in all of the other builds, but now I'm officially going to test out all the paint and everything. So we're going to start by getting this shop fully set up. I'm gonna rearrange everything, get it set up into a paint booth. I've done it a couple times on my last few videos. It works really good. So I'm gonna set up a pop-up tent, use the powder coat booth with the fans to suck all of the fumes and everything out. So we're gonna get that all set up, and then we're gonna start sanding these parts, and I'll go over what the paint plan is. So I'll get all this set up nice, but first we're going to set up the pop-up tent, get all of this cleared out of the way, create like a little paint area, and then we're gonna start prepping. Okay, here's my little setup. Pop-up tent, put some just painter's poly up to seal off the area. This is where I'll be sanding my parts, turning the 1200 CFM, or sorry, 700 each CFM fans on. That should get rid of most of the dust and also the paint. So once I start painting, I'll paint in here and fire those fans on. Everything's nice and enclosed. I'll cover the bikes up, especially that one. And we are getting ready to prep, sand, and prime all the parts. This is the first time. I'm stoked. I've been using Limeline for a while now, but this is the first time I'm using everything, including the paint. So I'm super stoked because they come in smaller like amounts, so it's perfect for a motorcycle, because all the other stuff I've been buying are just big jugs and I don't paint that often. So I got my Limeline orbital sander, I got the hand sander, and all of these are Velcro hook pads. So all of my 180, 600, here's the full wet sand kit. And then I got, these are wicked, they're reusable stir sticks. And we're gonna be using a black base coat for the rear and front fender and the two side shrouds. So those are gonna go black. The gas tank is going to be gunmetal gray with handwritten Harley Davidson along the bottom. So in order to do that, he's got the pigment powder they use. So it's basically 1 scoop for 1 ounce. So I'm gonna be using that as a base, mixing it in my black so I can get that dark gray. So we're gonna be hitting all the black first, and then I'll mix up my gunmetal gray, and then we'll do the gunmetal gray. So this is gonna be over a course of 3 or 4 days. So I figured we'll just start getting all of these parts sanded, clean up all the edges, get this little ding out, and get the primer on. So let's start doing that. Limeline, base coat, black. Urethane reducer, 1-in-1. Everything's primed, 3 coats of primer, smoothed out. I gave it a quick scuff in any areas that needed it. Looks good. Didn't need any Bondo anywhere. It's all brand new metal. It was nice and smooth. Pretty happy with it. We're not gonna do the gas tank right now. We're gonna do all these parts black. I'm even gonna do the Speedo black because that was chrome. So just the bottom where you'll see in this new Speedo relocation, and the trim will be black.
So I'm going to do a test spray.
Part I haven't done before. What's going on here? So we're going to use black base, just like we did with the rest of the parts, but now we're going to use the lime line pigment powder for the base coat to create the gunmetal color I'm looking for. So we're going to start with 1 scoop after I put the mix in. Look at that. You can see the gray in it. Okay, paint, base coat's all dried overnight. I got the tank mocked up here. It's hard to see right now because it's just got its base coat, but as soon as you get a clear on it, you're really gonna see that it's gunmetal gray. So I'll show you what my plan is now. Always make a couple extras. I used wax and grease remover to get everything off of the tank before I put this on. This is strictly a stencil. We're removing it after we paint, airbrush the logo on it. So it doesn't have to be perfect in my opinion because it's handwritten along the bottom. So as long as I'm following the contour of the tank and they're both same on both sides, I think we'll be good. So I'm gonna go something like this. So I don't want to like stick it all on really hard. I just want to make sure I'm pushing around where the writing is, so when I airbrush that no seepage gets through that. But I also want to be able to pull it fairly easy. There we go. So that's going to be white. I think it's only fair that I put a small logo here too. MJD. made the mistake of going on too thick and not letting it dry enough in between coats, so when you peel it back, it starts to peel the paint because it's too thick layered off of the actual gunmetal gray of the tank. Also, you want to keep it not too thick. All you need is like two light coats, because you don't want it to be raised. You need the clear coat to bury it all so it's nice and smooth. So tape removal blade, so they're not actually like a razor blade, but they're really sharp plastic, so it won't dig into the paint, but at the same time it will pick apart all the small little pieces of the detailed tape, so you're not scratching any of the surface. The base coat's done on all the parts. You've seen the gas tank. We just did the stencils. So now we're going to be using Limeline 2-part clear coat hardener. It's going to have the full mix ratio on it right here. It's super simple. 2 parts clear to 1 part hardener, and then you can even add a little bit of reducer if you want. I might add just a tiny bit, just so it's a little easier to work with, but I'm using a 1.5 tip on my gun, and I only use this one for clear coat. Okay, so I'm going to start mixing this up. Okay, I was gonna just leave the wet sanding and the polish out, and was waiting for the new polisher and a couple other things coming from Adam at Limeline, but it showed up and I haven't quite edited this video yet, so I'm going to do a quick segment on wet sanding the gas tank. We'll just do a little time lapse, show you the polisher that I got, and I'm hoping this one's gonna work because I've had challenges with the polishing in the past. Just so much different information on the internet, but I have been following Adam's tutorial, so I'm going to give it a shot with the product he uses and also the polisher. So let's just get this thing wet sanded and then we'll move on to the polishing. it for the paint episode. I still managed to get the wet sanding done and the polish, which turned out really good. I'm stoked on the outcome. I'm not one to like plug sponsors and stuff. I'm truly not, but I do like supporting the products that actually work for somebody like myself that is doing this more as a hobby. So Adam from Limeline, like I've been using his products for a long time. They're absolutely amazing. And for start to finish, for somebody that's learning, his products are inexpensive and so easy to use. So make sure you guys go to Limeline and check it out. Also, he's got tutorials on everything. So everything that I've been doing today, I've seen on his YouTube channel. So make sure you guys just go check that out if you want to try your hand at painting. You can always leave me a comment, ask me questions. I'll do the best I can to answer them from the experience I've gained. And the next episode, we're doing the Ford controls, exhaust. We're putting the fenders back on. We're like pretty much cleaning this bike up. I think there'll be one more episode and then the final. So there'll be a couple more to wrap this bike up. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.